going up against an offense and a coach you're very familiar with. What are your thoughts going into this one?
It's going to be a challenge. Obviously, I was, able to learn under Coach Johnson for 2 years, and I have the utmost respect for him. He gave me an opportunity to stay at Georgia Tech after being there for 4 years, and he really didn't have to. I was a young coach he didn't know much about, and he took a chance on me. So I'll always be grateful to him for allowing me to go work under him. I learned a lot of things from him. But expectation-wise, they're not one of the top rushing offenses in the country for a reason. What they do is unique, but they preach toughness and execution in their scheme, and it works for him. I know he's a guy that believes in what he does and doesn't try to get too cute. He believes in toughness and like I said, out executing people and putting his players in the best position to be successful.
It's no secret that the midline stuff is something he likes very much. What kind of challenge does that pose for you guys?
They have, it's almost like we always joke about whoever has the marker last on the grease board. He's been running this offense for years, so he's going to have an answer to everything, but it still comes back to who executes, the best. Which unit is going to go out there and be able to stop what the other unit's doing. Because, like I said, it looks like a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's still they have to block us, and we have to tackle them, and we have to do a better job than we do with respect to them.
How's the week of practice been, and how are guys responding to this challenge?
It's been good. Everybody knows the challenge at hand. Like I said, they're one of the best rushing teams in the country and have been traditionally. Since he's been at Georgia Tech. So we know what our objective is, but at the end of the day, he's going to put his team in the best position to win. If that means throwing the ball 15 times to put them in position to win, he's going to do that. So we have to still defend what they do. They're going to try to take some shots, over our head, and they're going to do some things that might be out of the ordinary for them to put them in position to win the game. So we can't just say we're going to go out there and stop one aspect of their game, because they have a quarterback who's very confident in putting the ball in the air, and I know he missed some throws last week, and that was one of the things that they bragged upon, that they thought he really improved upon. So I would suspect that they're going to take their shots in the air also.
How much does it help having coached at Georgia Tech in the past?
It does. The only way it would help is if I remember all the play calls and I knew what was going on. Even practicing against it, like I said, Coach Johnson, he's the one of the best at that option, to ever do it. So he's going to have an answer to what you can do. I'm familiar with it, but I can't go out there and play for our guys. They still have to go out there and execute and make sure we're sound and we're disciplined, in all three phases, as far as the dive, the quarterback, and the pitch.
Having the game against Georgia Tech and facing the triple option in week 2, you're able to install some elements way back in the spring, that Kirk was mentioning on Monday. Could you talk about?
Yeah, anytime you're going against something as unique as a triple option, you have to be able to, start the process and game planning for it a little early. So we just wanted to make sure we were familiar with some of their base formations and base plays. So we were able to go over it in the spring and in the summertime. And we were really able to ramp it up this week and kind of get ready and get a good game plan for it.
Eye discipline is so significant, especially with that quarterback. Just what's your impressions of that quarterback?
He's dynamic. He's dynamic. Watched him. I remember him as a high school football player. I think he's the prototype of what you're looking for to run that offense, obviously, because he's a big play waiting to happen, and he throws it well enough that he can beat you through the air, so you can't just, go wholesale and try to stop the run. But I think he's one of the more dynamic players, in the country, obviously with his stats last year being a 1,000-yard rusher. So he's going to be a big challenge for us. We're going to have to tackle well, and we're going to have eye discipline, like you talked about. But it's still, and Coach Johnson would be the first one to tell you, eye discipline is probably one of the biggest things with defensive players anyway. They have keys and they have places that they have to be with every defense, and the eye discipline is a big part of it. So it doesn't change. It's just like I said, it's ramped up a little more because there are usually 3 options when it comes to that offense.
And you, one other thing for me, you were able to rotate a lot of bodies up front last week. That's the objective this week, I'd assume.
It's always the objective, and and we rotated them with some highs and some lows. We gave up some runs that were uncharacteristic of us and what our expectations were. But it's just like you said, we were able to play a lot more bodies and give them some college experience for the first time. So we're hoping that'll be beneficial going into this week. But that's always our plan, is to rotate as many bodies and keep them as fresh as possible.
Thank you, Coach.